Well, hey everybody out there in TV land, Eddie here reporting live from Flynn's Arcade in Margate, Florida. We are actually on time. Well, we're a minute late past 7, so we're actually on time for our on time. We really appreciate you tuning in this evening at 7 o'clock for Let's Talk Gunpla with Uber's Cosplay. We have a special guest with us. We are honored to be in her presence. We have Shirley with us, Ben's significant other.
Hi guys.
And no bias there. We have her with us. We have her with us this evening to talk about some interesting stuff. So once again, feel free to drop any comments, questions, thoughts into the chat. If you want to join our Discord, we do have a Gundam channel on there. The links are in our bio. And if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, please be sure to, click that follow button, subscribe button, that bell button, whatever it is, the bell icon, whatever it may be, so that you guys are able to, get notification when we do go live. So I wanted to make sure you guys know where our information is. It's always, I just pointed at the screen like you could see what I'm looking at. It's always underneath. You can find everything about Flynn's at Flynn's Gaming FL on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. Everything is all there for your viewing pleasure. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to reach out to us. Our information is also on Google Maps. And Uber's Cosplay, aka Ben, where can they find you?
Best place to get in touch with me is on Instagram,
Awesome.
at Uber's Cosplay. I'm also on YouTube. And if you would like to come by the arcade on Thursdays, I'm usually here for Build and Paint Night. Usually working on some model kits and stuff like that, but sometimes I bring in cosplay stuff too. But I'm usually here working on stuff, so if you want to talk shop or you got something you need help with or something, just bring it in.
And that is Thursday nights at 8 o'clock. We go from 8 to about midnight. You don't have to hang out the whole time. It is totally free to attend that. And of course, we have snacks, drinks, beer, wine, stuff like that for you to purchase if you want to purchase it.
And if you don't have your own kit, you got those too.
Yes, if you don't have your own kit, that's what I was going to get into next. We do have quite a number of kits here at Flynn's for your purchasing pleasure at very affordable prices. I keep hearing that constantly where they're like, man, you are a lot cheaper than I had imagined. Yes, we try to price things affordable. We're not here to take advantage of you. So we definitely want you to come and stop by. We have a bunch of kits. I'm going to start throwing out like a kit of the day. Today I did the high resolution God Gundam kit on our social media channels just to kind of raise awareness that those higher end kits are here, as well as kits for all grade levels, high grades, master grades, real grades, all that kind of cool stuff. So we have some events before you get into the meat and potatoes, guys. We have some events coming up that are Gundam related, so I'm going to bring them up. So next Monday, the 7th of December, we are going to have, Will and I have titled it, Learn to Build Gundam. It's a night that we're going to have dedicated for everybody who wants to be exposed to Gundam, has never done it, or maybe you've done Gundam, but you want to get more in depth with, maybe you've never put it together, We will have kits here for you. We'll have all the tools. We'll order some pizza, have a soda. We'll have Gundam playing on the TVs. Ben will be here. I'll be here. And we might even stream it just to, make something interesting. If you want to be a part of the Learn to Build Gundam, or you have someone who may want to be a part of that, that's in our Facebook event page as well as our Instagram bio. And I'll also be sure to drop it on our website here once we get off this evening. Then we also have Pain Build Night, which you already mentioned. And then this Saturday, our substitute Santa is actually Uber's Cosplay. We'll be here as Unicorn Gundam, which this one, not in the micro size, but full size. If you haven't seen his cosplay of the Gundam, it's truly incredible. So that's substitute Santa photos. We had Spider-Man and Spider-Woman this past Saturday. We'll have Ben Uber's Cosplay this Saturday from 11:30 to 12:30. It's totally free to come out. Sean was here and Omel was here snapping photos. I usually clean them up a little bit with editing, and then we'll send them right over to you. And you can also take pictures yourself, and the arcade will open like normal at 1 o'clock.
I will have some cosplay prints for sale as well.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Not just of
there
my
we go.
Gundam unicorn costume, but all the other mecha costumes I've done.
Very
so
cool.
If you've seen my stuff, I'll have prints for sale of the Galgaigar, the ground type Gundam, the Wing Zero, pretty much all the costumes I've done in the past. So if you want to pick up a nice high quality glossy print, I'll have those as well.
So we'll do that on Saturday. You'll have the opportunity to just meet Uber, ask him questions, and that's totally free to attend. And Ben will have some prints, and of course, it's great to support our local cosplayers, artists, and creators. So be sure to stop by for that this Saturday from 11:30 to 12:30. So we have a special guest, Shirley. We've been trying to bring in different people every week, or not every week, but at least every few weeks with us.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Shirley, you do have social media, but you're not really on it, right?
I'm not on social
Okay.
media, so if anyone wants to contact me for any reason whatsoever, you have to do it through this guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you want to contact Shirley, if you have a question, reach out to her through Uber's Cosplays information, which is also on the stream. So first off, thanks for coming out, Shirley.
thanks for having me.
I appreciate. I know Ben pretty much just told me, hey, Shirley's coming out next time. I'm like, all right, cool. So that was really cool. So Shirley, obviously, we usually have mostly men on here, but it's really cool to have it from a different perspective.
Of course, yeah.
So how did you get started? Tell us your story of where it all came from or where it started.
Oh, well, gosh, it's been a long time. I guess I would say high school is when I was exposed to Gundam, or what Gundam was. Gundam Wing was really popular at the time.
Okay.
I was not into Gundam Wing. I just see a bunch of robots. I didn't like it. My friends who did enjoyed it for not the robots aspect.
Oh.
They enjoyed it for the pretty boy aspect at the time.
I mentioned in the past with Wing, that was a big thing. That was very popular with female audiences because the cast was Bishonen. It was like young, pretty men.
They were boring. I didn't care for them from the few glimpses I had, but I passed on. However, I did get into G Gundam.
Okay.
Which aired around that time as well.
Yeah, a little bit later.
I found that really exciting and a lot more fun to deal with.
Okay.
Like, there wasn't all these politics, whatever. It was just robots just fighting each other and, like, hilariously themed and everything. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, I did know Ben at the time, and he loved Gundam.
Obviously.
And he would talk about Gundam a whole lot. So I was like, okay, you know what? I would listen to him about his kits and everything. So I decided to try to give Gunpla a go, like on my own with no like incentive or anything. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna build my first kit, which is Flag right here.
Awesome. So you built this first kit. What year is this? To give people an idea.
Like when?
Yeah. What year? What year are we at?
This series I think started running in 2000.
Okay, so right around the early 2000s.
Early
I'm sorry,
2000.
I meant 2010. Sorry.
Oh, 2010. Okay, so like 2010.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been a long time from high school for me to building this. So like I've known him since high school, so it's been a long time. And I wanted to build something I was sort of familiar with. I was kind of getting into Gundam 00.
Okay.
And I saw this kit and I figured, well, why not give it a go? I wanted built it, but I wanted to give him a gift at the time. And I was kind of foolish thinking instead of buying a Gundam kit and handing it to him to build, I figured I'd build it myself. I'm like, that'd be great, right? I knew absolutely nothing about building Gunpla. I bought the sandpaper because I always know he talks about sanding his Gunpla. But I also know he talked about panel lining. I had no idea what he used to panel line. So at the time, I actually used just like a Sharpie.
Like a wide end Sharpie marker, really?
Like one of the Sharpie pens, like fine tip.
Okay, all right, right on.
So that's what I did, and I presented it to him, and he seems pretty impressed by it.
I like it.
I dig it. All right, cool. So you gave it to him as a gift.
Yeah.
And he obviously still has it.
Right.
Yeah, he still has
It's
it.
there. How did he respond? Like the fact that it was built. Did he feel like, or how did you feel, Ben, when you got it?
I was impressed that she had done so well for her first Gundam kit. Like the panel lining is well done.
You're like, I approve.
Especially considering like the panel lining was done with a Sharpie marker. It's very well done. She did a very good job of cleaning up her nubs, which if you're into Gunpla, you're probably familiar with the meme of clean up your nubs.
Honestly, though, at the time, I didn't know those specific clippers to use, and I like to dabble a lot, so I had like jewelry cutters, so that's what I just ended up using to like cut this kit apart.
Right, because you're a crafter. Like you make like plushies and stuff like that too.
I do plushies, beanies, little things. I dabble a lot. Like a lot of things like interest me, and I just happen to have just jewelry clippers. I ended up using that for this kit at the time. So it's just really tiny and wasn't very fun to handle, but it got the job done.
All right, right on. So then that progressed to
that then became this. Let's switch this guy out here.
This was really a kit we worked on together.
Yes, this is something where it's like, okay, I've done my first kit. He suddenly has a kohai, so he's my senpai.
Okay.
So he started teaching me different methods and different things that you can do with building model kits. In this case, this is not a Gundam. It's a Gurren Lagann from the show Gurren Lagann, if anyone knows it.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann is a more recent mech anime, also from like the 2010s.
Okay.
This is by the same people that did Evangelion. I know you said you watched a little bit
Yes,
of that.
yes, I did watch it.
This is in the same vein, kind of like really kind of crazy. It was very much like a revival of classic mecha anime, like of the 70s and stuff like that. So very over the top, very hot-blooded, very crazy animation. And the designs were very much a throwback to like the 70s super robot stuff. So that's where you
Definitely super. No, so is this like Guy Gargan or was it the same show?
No, different show, different studio, different everything, but in the same vein. Whereas the Galgagar,
Yeah, because it kind of looks
like
a little the same.
The Galgagar is not a military robot;
Right.
it's a superhero.
Super
It happens to be a giant robot.
Right.
Same thing, very much with the Gurren Lagann. The Gurren Lagann is not like a military robot; it's a superhero who just happens to be a giant robot.
Oh, cool. Hey,
Like
Felix.
it's piloted by characters and everything, but the way it behaves is very much like a Caped Crusader type of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
in which they call it like a super robot, as opposed to Gundams, which are kind of like military vehicles.
Yeah, in the difference between real and super is in real, like a mobile suit or a Gundam or a robot is treated no differently in the world than like a tank.
Yeah.
It's just a machine of war. In super robot anime, this is the costume the character puts on to go out and be the superhero.
And it does like usually really crazy things too.
Yeah, they
Like
usually
things a
don't-
machine wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
Well, they do things like they won't just be like firing like lasers like from rifles. They'll
Right.
like fire energy beams out of their hands and crazy stuff.
Open
like
their
that.
chest and like some
Yeah.
beam comes out.
They'll do crazy transformations, all kinds of stuff. Stuff that's a
It's
little
like
more outlandish.
Megazord.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So which one do you prefer though, Shirley? Do you prefer the super robots or do you prefer the military style like mobile suits of Gundam?
Honestly, I haven't really considered it
Okay.
because I kind of happen to like both.
Like both
I
worlds.
love the Gurren Lagann. I love like Galgagar, but then I also like Gundam. I like Backcross. Like that tends to be my favorite as well. And those are all just real robots.
She didn't like Godanner, which is a super robot show, because they shouted too much.
So if you had those series in front of or those robots or suits in front of you, which one would you go for first?
I think if I was to reach out, it would probably be Macross. It would be real robots.
Real robots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but she tends to go for like the more the enemy suits. Like she tends to like buy more of the villain type suits.
Okay.
Despite the display I have here, I also like villain suits. I just like how like badass they look and intimidating and everything. Not so much the hero suits, and they always tend to be a lot more uniquely designed in the series.
Of course.
So that's
Because like even in like the movies, like the standard like superhero movie, the superheroes, the good guys are very polished and they're chiseled abs, chiseled chin, but then the bad guys are always like Frankensteins, like put together haphazardly.
oh
Right.
yeah.
So the same principle translates to
to Mecha.
Mecha.
Yeah, I love just their looks and everything. It's just my go-to anyway.
so you feel like if you got into more customization of kits, you'd have more liberty there in the bad guys because they're not so like tried and true.
Yeah, I mean, like, personally, I always like, I see a Zaku, oh, I like that Zaku. I see another Xeon
Okay.
suit, it's like, oh, that's cool. That guy, that's pretty cute, in a way.
Right.
But it's different, But that's just my take on it, of course. I still get the Gundam, the hero suits, and the real robots versus super robots as well.
And you transitioned from that first kit that you gave Ben to this kit.
Yes.
And what progression did you make as a builder to that one? Did you learn panel lining better? Did Ben assist you with it?
He helped me a lot. This is like the first kit we built together.
Okay.
Like I've constructed it myself. Like I put it all together, but this kit was just like 2 colors,
Okay.
It was only like
red and gray.
it was only red, gray, and then these yellow pieces. Everything else on this had to be painted.
Yeah.
Really?
Everything else, like the facial features and everything, that had to be painted. The logo on the side had to be hand painted. So he was teaching me like how to use Gundam
Right.
markers and things like that.
So the logo on the shield was painted with a little brush. The teeth on the face and the chest all had to be painted. Even like this boomerang, like sunglasses on the chest, that actually came as like a red part.
No, it was a gray part.
Was it a gray
It
part?
was a gray part.
Gray part.
Gray
Like,
parts
really?
that all had to be painted black.
Because you wanted to be as like show-like as possible?
In the show, it's like
Okay,
black
show
pair of
accurate. All
sunglasses.
right,
Yeah.
right on.
And then he also taught me like how to seal in like the parts where they connect and everything, so they look like uniform rather than having the seam lines there.
You can see a little bit of it here. It's like where the 2 parts connect like a clamshell. There's a slight seam line that's been hidden with some putty and some glue, and then red Gundam marker was put over it to help hide that seam line so you don't have that really nasty looking gap. Because this is, like she said, a very simple kit. I think this was 3 runners. So what it's doing now is pretty much all it does. Like, it pretty much can do this.
Yeah,
the articulation is very poor.
Yeah, the legs can do that.
it can just like do the robot.
This is the simplest of the simple kits. This is like a $5 kit. So.
Can you even find that anymore?
I'm sure you could, but like there are better kits of this particular robot now. But at the time the show was just running, so it was pretty much like get whatever you could. This was the only model kit there was of the character at the time.
So it shows also with your journey through model building, also the complexity of kits as they've evolved over time.
Yeah, and even though this is like a fairly recent kit, it's designed to be low price point, as simple as possible, so anyone could do it. And if you did want to do more to it, like we did, you could customize it up, clean it up, paint it, make it look a lot closer to what it does in the show. This is a lot more accurate to what it looked like in the show than what it did straight out of box.
So I have to ask, so Ben, I know you've been doing the building for quite some time, and I'm not saying a perfectionist, but you definitely you want to be you get it as nice as possible. With other people building other kits, especially your significant other, building another kit with you there in the room, do you have a tendency to like want to take it over and be like, hey, you're doing it wrong, you're nipping it this way, like how do you handle that? Because I know I handle it a certain way with Danny.
I'm not like a perfectionist in terms of like you must do it X, Y, Z.
Right.
But I am like, when I see like somebody with a backlog, I'm ravenous to get at the backlog myself.
Okay.
Like she does have a backlog of kits that I'm always kind of sitting there.
Right. Okay, so you're encouraging.
He's very, very encouraging. And he's a perfectionist of his own work, like that's just a given. But when it comes to my own stuff, he just teaches me. He's never like judging harshly. His worst thing is that he'll just want to like pick it up and start doing it himself.
Just because I'm a fan of it.
And I asked the question because I think it's a unique time to have you both here, because a lot of times when it comes to building or any hobby really, you have couples that will want to do it together, will want to build together or hobby together or craft together, and then sometimes they're afraid to like jump into it because they're afraid of that those personality traits are going to come out strongly. But it seems here there's a nice dynamic between a give and take, if you will.
Oh yeah,
to help.
At least in my case, like I've never been judgmental of Gunpla.
Okay.
Like I've known he was always into it and everything. I'm just like, this is kind of neat.
Right,
I didn't
right
think
on.
it was weird or anything. And like as friends, I'm like, okay, this is great. This is kind of neat.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't see the appeal of it, but then as a significant other, it's like, you know what? I want to learn more of why you like it so much. So that's why I kind of jumped into it, and I kind of got that Gunpla bug where it bit me too.
Plastic crack.
Yeah, that
I'm
plastic
starting to
crack.
feel it. I'm starting.
The thing was too is there were a lot of kits that were Gundam that I actually wasn't too into,
Right.
but that were geared better towards her particular tastes and styles and stuff like that.
Very
That's where a
cool.
lot of the SD kits come in.
Yeah, let's look at some of the SD kits, because I see you have like a plethora, quite a few that I'm admiring, because I've never, my SD experience is very limited.
To show the first SD kit right here, appropriately of the first Gundam.
Right. This is the first one she did.
So SD kits, everybody. How would you, hey Trevo, how would you surely explain an SD kit to a person who doesn't know what they are?
Okay, well, SD kits, the SD stands for super deformed,
Okay.
which pretty much is, well, they're super deformed
They're like
comparatively.
miniaturized.
They're miniaturized, they look very like dwarfed in comparison.
Go ahead and talk about this.
So that's pretty much what it means, and it was
There
originally
you go.
like an illustration from
Right.
the 80s that was for Model Works magazine.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, this is pretty cute. And they decided to do a 4-panel comic series in it. And like Bandai, they have something Gundam related. They want to make Gundam merchandise out of it. So it first started off with these particular proportions. It was really good for capsule toys. So they started off making little capsule toys.
What do they call them? Gotchas? No.
Gotcha.
Gotchas,
Gotcha.
right? Gotcha. That's
Yeah.
right.
Capsule toys, coupons, and it was popular with the school kids too because they would also make little eraser heads of the SD.
Ah,
of
I
the
did not
SD
know
Gundams.
that. I didn't know that.
So as it grew in popularity with the little comic and like the capsule toys and everything, they decided to make series. So it started to get its own manga, its own shows, and it branched out to a bunch of different things. It was originally just a parody of the original series. So it would just be like little theatrical shorts that would be accompanied with different movies, different shows that aired. Nothing standalone by itself. It was always just a few minutes, and that was it. And then they started to do Mushu Gundam, which a few of these are from, Night Gundam, and then Commando Gundam. But right now, this is still based on the first of the original Gundam series when it was a parody. So this guy here.
All right, and you actually did quite a bit of painting on this one too.
Oh yeah, I did a lot of painting. I also learned how to replace missing pieces because I lost a piece on this guy. We had a couch that just ate everything.
Yeah, this little skirt piece right here, this little yellow.
Really? It
cube.
popped off?
It popped off and I could never find it.
This is not that original part. We made a replacement one out of 2-part modeling putty, like epoxy putty you'd use for...
So did you make a mold of the other one?
No, we just made like a little ball and like shaped it with like a flat piece of plastic to a square and kind of shifted and adjusted.
I would never could tell that.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to tell at first glance. If you get really close, you can kind of tell. But worked out pretty well for a little piece of modeling clay there.
Oh yeah, I was genuinely upset. I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I lost a part. This is where the ingenuity and apparently art class came in, and we just decided to sculpt a little piece. And it worked out well.
Awesome.
And SD kits, they're more simple. Like they're designed usually for like people that maybe aren't into hardcore modeling. So some things you will have to just kind of accept as a matter of course. Like a lot of parts will require paint. Like the beam saber here, this is all just comes in one color, white.
Right.
So the beam saber being pink, she had to color it. I think it came with a sticker for it, but that's not the kind of thing you want to use a sticker for. It does have some stickers on it, like the shield. Like the shield is actually just a molded gray plastic piece.
Whoa, really?
So the entire front of it, all that detail, is just a sticker.
Huh.
Same thing with like the little V in the red portion inside the cod piece there. And the back of the heel is all just white, so the red portions on the bottom of the foot, those had to be hand painted as well. So you have to do some extra work to get it looking like it does on the box, just because of the size of it and the low price point. They designed these kits to be as simple as possible. And you can see too, she's also got quite a bit of panel lining, very clean, like the black detailing on the back of the head. And these half circles on the ankle where the joint is all done with a Gundam marker or pen, as well as the details on the front of the chest.
I also think this is the first kit actually matte coated.
That's what I was going to bring up next, because like you can't really tell it too much. Wenzel says, tiny guy but amazing, I'm holding the same kit. Oh, very cool. Sticker is not bad at all. But yeah, no, what I was going to say, you can't really tell on the screen that it is a matte finish, which is the first thing I picked up on. But you brought yours, so you can kind of show what you used for that.
This is her preferred top coat.
It's just a matte finish. I kind of like it as opposed to like the shiny, fresh out of the assembly line look, because to me it makes it look kind of gummy-ish, and I just think that's kind of cute with the SD kits.
I agree.
It just kind of looks like candy. I just love the matte look.
Right. And this is the Tester's dull coat. You can get these at pretty much any hobby store, Hobby Lobby, Michael's would have it, various places like that. There's a couple different kinds of clear coat. This specifically is the dull coat.
Right.
Then there's a semi-gloss, which is sort of glossy, but not super gloss. There's a full gloss, which is a very shiny look. And then they have one they sell for like RC cars, which is like wet. It's super gloss. Makes it look like wet metal. But I'm very much with her. I prefer to coat my kits in a matte coat. I don't use too much of this because I usually use like floor polish to do mine because it's cheaper. But if you're in a pinch and you just want to do like something simple to make your kit look better, a regular kit out of box with panel lining, a little bit of cleanup, and this clear coat makes the kits look so
Oh, 100%. But you're running it out of an airbrush machine, aren't you?
I'm running it out of an airbrush, but this is like, if you don't want to get heavy invested in materials and tools, a can of this runs $5, $6.
I just wanted to bring it up just in case someone's watching is going to go get some floor polish and just rub it all over a
No,
kit. You
you
know?
have to do different things to it. I'm just saying, that's something I do. I'll mention later when we talk about airbrushing, but that's like a money.
But the rattle can is how much? How much would
The
you say?
rattle
Like
cans
$5?
ranges from $5 to $7.
Okay.
And one of these will last you, 1 or 2 kits. If you're doing SD ones, probably a couple of them. And it's really as simple as just that when the kit is complete, you can take the separate body parts and you could put these on like a toothpick or something, or
like with your clay stuff and a
yeah,
stick.
like a skewer, and have it attached there with either tape or like a
Putty.
stick tack, that kind of thing, and spray it. Or if it's a very small, simple kit, you can just have it be like these usually have like a hole either in the back of the skirt or underneath them
Right.
for a stand. You could put it on there and then just turn it on this stick.
Huh, I
and
never
hit
thought
it,
of doing
hit
that.
it with the clear coat because it's a small kit.
That's
can usually,
smart.
You can usually get full coverage with a small kit without having to break it apart.
100%. And I learned the hard way with my SD kit that you do need to like cover the joints a little bit, because I sprayed that stuff all over the joints, and they actually they got too loose.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh man. So I had to go there with sandpaper and grit it up again, but
Right.
you live and learn.
Yeah, but this was the original classic Gundam in its SD form, and it's a pretty cute little kit. And even if you're like a fan of more, to put it like serious kits, I think an SD kit like this is a cool thing to have, especially at the classic Gundam.
Heck yeah.
Just to bring some like levity to your collection. Like
Heck
it's
yeah.
nice to have like a shelf with all these big war machines, then you just have this cute little one of the same guy right next to it.
100%.
What's with that one? It's like, oh, we're just having some fun.
And also it's a kit you could pick up at any level
Right.
and build it in 30 minutes.
And the price point is low. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
a couple,
if you-
$7, $8, $11,
Yeah, like,
you know.
yeah, impulse buy type stuff. And we have some of these here at the store. Not this particular suit, but we do have SD kits. We have more coming on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is something you're interested in, keep your eye on the shelves and stuff. We'll have more coming in.
Yeah, definitely. It's just like, especially this aesthetic, for me, I just really, really like it. I don't know if it's just because I lean more towards cute things just for being a girl. That's just me. But it also works very well with kids, too. Like, it's something very simple for them to pick up if you want to start them into the Gundam kits and everything.
Yeah, Christmas around the corner, holidays around the corner.
Christmas around the corner, and like start the little one with a mini RX, 78, and then hand them a bigger one.
Yeah,
100%.
When we do Gundam classes at cons, these are always very popular with young kids. And the other thing too is they give you some options usually with the stickers, because like she said, these show up in animation to where here it's got like the eyes like they do on the traditional models where it's just those camera eyes. You can swap that out with a sticker that gives it like large cartoon.
So the eyes don't flip around.
They do on newer.
The new
Okay, so the new one I have flips around.
But on previous ones they just include a sticker where
Really?
you can give it like that cartoon.
So but it's one or the other.
one or the
One
other.
or the other. The newer
Okay.
ones, it's like a piece you swap, which is really neat. That's a great feature. But
Smart idea.
the older ones don't have that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely an older one.
So this is a perfect example. Matte finish, painting, panel lining. Bam.
And replacing a piece.
Replacing a piece. I forgot the most important part.
Some model putty right there. That's still hiding in a couch somewhere on a landfill.
Yeah, that couch ate everything up. But this was again another kit that we worked on together and everything. The next SD kit I actually worked on it all by myself, which I was a little more proud of. There we go. Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is-
perfect.
This is one of the Sengoku ones, right?
Yeah, Sengoku Den ones. It's pretty much another SD Gundam series, part of the Mushu series. I believe the Sengoku Den one is like their 18th installment. Like it's really
Whoa.
just long, but it includes like 4-panel comics, a bunch of different kinds of materials and everything. But this one did get an animation series, and this one is Sanshoku.
Yes. You're talking about the name of the show?
The name of the character,
Oh,
Gabera, Sanshoku Gabera.
Senshoku Gabera, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's based on a mobile suit from the anime, the Gabera Tertra, which is from Stardust Memory 0083. You can see a little bit of that in the shoulders if you're familiar with that anime, but it's obviously a big departure from the full design, so they kind of give it a different style.
At this point in the SD Gundam franchise, they geared away from the traditional mecha and tried to make it a little more cartoony. In a way.
Definitely.
They made them more anthropomorphic and just sentient, so they're like standalone characters rather than suits that are being piloted by said characters. And this particular series, the Mushu series, is based usually on feudal Japan, so like we got samurai and ninja designs and everything. Fortunately, this one is from based on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms of the Chinese mythology. So yeah, it's slightly more Chinese look in this one.
Right, this is where the hair buns come in.
I was gonna say the hair buttons remind me of like a Sailor Moon kind of animation to it, but
And this one had quite a bit of hand painting you had to do as well.
Oh yeah, this one, oh god, it had a lot of stickers, but I didn't want to do any of the stickers for this one. I actually tried to do a lot of the hand painting and panel lining myself. Actually, did I use any stickers besides the eyes?
I think.
What about the little green piece on the back of the helmet?
The bows on the front of her feet as well.
Okay, so mostly like the pink outfit, the bows and stuff. I tried to do hand
blue
painting.
up front as a sticker.
So you painted the purple?
The purple came like that, but like,
Oh, okay.
you know, panel lining it and everything. There's like yellow trimming
Yeah, all
that
the
I
yellow
did.
trim had to be hand.
And what did you paint it with? Like just enamel paint, paint marker?
I think I used paint marker.
Used acrylic paint markers and a hand brush.
So it had to be a very steady hand and do it. And I
Super
just
steady.
did this one day. I was bored and home alone while he was at work. I'm like, I'll build a kit by myself and I'll start from scratch.
You had to paint the entire weapon too, because that all came in one color.
Yeah, I think that was just all gray.
Yeah, so the weapon had to all be done up as well. The blade is a different color than the rest of it as well. This one does come with some option parts as well. I think I recall like the bow on her back will turn into a bow and arrow.
Yeah, she has a bow and arrow feature as well. But I stuck with this guy, kind of like the lance a little better.
Yeah.
It was more impressive.
And I like the colors of this one especially. This one especially looks good with that clear coat because of the fluorescent colors really look good in that dull coat. But yeah.
It's a very pretty kit.
Oh yeah,
So this is the first one you did completely alone.
completely all by myself.
That's right. Man, you panel lined it, you painted it,
Yeah, I violated his markers and paint. It was like, this is what everything is. I'm bored.
Got into some of my stuff.
He's like
It's
getting out of the car, you just,
I don't mind people
someone
getting into
touched my paints,
I
calls
don't mind
you.
people getting into my stuff if it's for something creative.
Very cool.
So like, well, I definitely got creative here. So I really, really enjoyed this one. And like, I was like, oh, it's a little girl Gundam. Like, I wanted to paint it, and have it for myself.
Right.
And speaking of,
This is one I got you.
this one was not the next one I built, but it's part of the same series as well. It's just a
Ooh.
little newer. This one, oh gosh. I didn't matte coat it because it's so shiny, and I actually just put all the stickers on it.
Okay.
Because there was
That's
an
okay.
excessive amount of stickers.
A good example of what the SG Sengoku kits looked like out of box, really.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, Sean.
they do notoriously have a lot of stickers. Because they're small kits and they have to be simpler, there's not a lot of variation like in the colors of the runners.
Right.
You know how like I'm always talking about how accurate the colors are? It's usually not the case with these ones, and they rely a lot on stickers to make them more accurate. But on the plus side, a lot of the stickers are very nice foil ones, so they look very cool. And this one is interesting too because she has like this shawl, and the shawl is actually just a piece of paper that you cut out of the instruction manual.
Really?
It sits around her.
I've never, man, leave it to the Japanese. They get all creative like this, you know?
Right.
Like,
It's a very nice,
I
simple,
love it.
mixed media kit. So talk about this character. Which suit is this one based on?
This is based on the Chowsen Keyblade,
Mm-hmm.
also from the same Romance of the Three Kingdoms series. With this particular one, I kept the stickers mostly because the fans were a solid yellow piece. And I didn't want to have to paint the pink and then
So the pink and the little flower,
And
the
then
lotus
the
flower.
That would be very difficult to paint. I can see why you didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
Holy
like I'm pretty sure I
moly.
could revisit it and stuff, but I don't have a steady hand to do a nice little lotus blossom on ridges. Because that's not a flat piece, it's a very textured piece too.
Yeah, it's like wavy and stuff. Oh
Yeah.
man, I would mess it up so bad.
So I was like, we're gonna
And
do
you'd have to
this
prime
cool.
it, somehow prime it, you know?
Yeah, this one hasn't been like, doesn't have any sort of matte finish or anything. This is pretty much just straight out of the box built. But it looks really, really good. It seemed to have come a long way from the other one I've built.
Yeah, this was a special character too, because she's like the princess in the story.
Okay.
So they made this kit have that glossy style injection. And actually, this kit's pretty hard to get nowadays. Like, you could only really get it now if you buy like the Blu-ray box set of the show.
It was a
That was
special
the only way to
edition.
get that kit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do they still do that limited edition? Like you buy the DVD or box kit and
They
you get
do. And it's usually like not a kit that's impossible to get, but it's like a special variation, either a special coating, a special color.
that? That's really cool. I like
This
that idea.
was one that did not have a traditional release outside of that box set.
Whoa.
And it was unfortunate because I think this is the one that everyone really wanted. This is the
Yeah.
really popular one, I think.
I was like looking on the internet. I was like, oh, I want to find some more. Because after building the other ones, like I want some more like little girl like Gundam kits, And I found this one. I'm like, oh, this one looks so gorgeous. I really want it, but I read it only came with the special edition Blu-ray DVD box set. I'm like, I don't want to get the Blu-ray DVD box
I
set.
actually got it from a site, Amy, where somebody had bought the Blu-ray box set, broken it up, and were selling it individually a few years later. And the model kit was for sale, and I grabbed it and got it for her. That's how I got it. Because I knew it was one she wanted, but I'm like, I can't afford to buy like a $400 Blu-ray
DVD,
box
yeah.
set.
Oh, it was not 100, but still.
Blu-rays are expensive in Japan, a lot more expensive than they are here.
Really?
Yeah.
It was also like a few years ago, but it's like also you don't want to drop $100 for just a little SD kit.
I'm almost certain. I would think this thing has had to have some kind of re-release or something. You know, Bandai is not one to throw away molds. I'm sure there's got to be another way to get it.
I'm pretty sure there is, but for now I have it and I like it.
But it's interesting, like, that when you look at these SD kits and you look at the HG kits as well, it's like they are much more creative at this level. Not that they're not creative at the HG level, but like the Nobel Gundam is the one that comes to mind of a more femalistic, I guess, design.
Right.
I mean, but with high grades, if somebody wanted to go out and buy, they can't get their hands on this necessarily, but they want to get their hands on another female-centric kit that is a mobile suit or something like this, what could they get their hands on? The Nobel, obviously.
The Nobel is the easiest example because that's one that everyone is familiar with. Like, even if you're not into Gundam, you'll recognize that, oh, it's a Sailor Moon robot. You know what I mean? That's something that you'll dig.
Are there any others that come to your guys' minds?
There's the GN Archer, which is a suit from Gundam 00. It's not female, as it's like not represented as female. It's piloted in the show by a girl, but the suit it only looks feminine when you put it next to the other suits. Like it's got bigger hips, and it's got like a more slim, almost cat-like face. But I've seen a lot of people do customizations of that to make it a more feminine suit.
Okay.
And even the suit this is based on, the Cubile, is like this big enemy suit that looks very intimidating. But when you see it, it's all white and pink, and it's like a monster, but it's very feminine in the way it looks because it's all curved and flowing lines. So there's feminine suits which translate to the human form, and then there's feminine suits which they just have that feel about them, even though they don't necessarily look like male or female.
It's like the kaiju.
Yeah, similar.
Like Mothra is a girl.
Mothra's a girl, and it's like,
but
it's a giant moth.
like
Similar, yes.
Interesting. All right, cool. So unfortunately, guys, you can't find this kit easily. I mean, you can go out and scour the eBay and.
I'd recommend you check 1999.co.jp for resellers if you could find it on there. You also might be able to find out an Amy, which is another website that
I'm gonna put it into the chat so people can get to it. So what was the first one?
Just 1999.
1999. .co.jp.
Yeah, they do resin kits and things like that.
All right, and what was the other one?
Amy, AMI.com. You might be able to find them on there because Amy will sell stuff that people bring into their stores and they necessarily don't want anymore. So you find a lot of used stuff, a lot of unbuilt model kits.
Okay.
You find rare stuff every now and then. But that would be my suggestion if you wanted to try and find them. But yeah, the Sengoku Cubile.
Goku, it's Charleston from Sangoku Den.
Some correction going on here.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty hard to pronounce and everything, but
I just admire the fact you guys remember all these weird names. I can barely remember like the drinks we have here.
Yeah, we have too much free time, I think.
I call it different things every single time someone has it.
Oh, and she did come with another accessory, which was like a stand.
Oh yeah.
It was like like one of those traditional, like you'd see the princess be carried into battle, and it's like 4 guys carrying.
Yeah.
It's one of those for her, so you can put 4 suits on either side carrying her, like she's.
To hold it.
Yeah, to hold her up like when she's going into battle. I thought
Interesting.
That was kind of
yeah, that was pretty neat. That was a solid color, like one solid color piece. I think it was purple, so that would have to get a lot of painting and everything done too. And I think it was in the show. It was like 4 like Zaku-esque.
Yeah, 4 Zakus carrying her into battle, which makes sense.
So I have to buy 4 Zakus now.
She's too regal. She's not walking to the fight. You carry her there.
Cool. So what else? What other one do we have?
All right, take her out.
So definitely this one's not been altered other than the stickers.
No, that one was just a straight build.
The stickers is just like I said, my own kind of choice at the moment. I might revisit it, but it's like I gotta figure out how to.
You'll figure it out.
I'll figure out how to get around the fans and everything. All right. There we go.
This is, we're gonna move that camera up a little bit.
Got him?
Bam. Yeah, that's good, Ben.
This is the SD full armor Gundam Unicorn.
And I had to ask, I asked Shirley when she had taken it out that, did it come with all those armor pieces? Because that was the first thing I was drawn to, and the answer was correct. Yes, it did. Which is really cool because that, for an SD kit, now does this have that the larger exoskeleton?
No, this is an older kit. It did not have that CS frame yet.
CS frame, sorry.
So this is a bit before that. The detail is still good. The real advantage with the CS frame is it gives you some options for making the kits scale a little bit different. Like you can make the limbs longer and stuff like that.
It can get in different poses.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of these other suits are coming out in the CS frame style. I'm not sure off the top of my head if the Unicorn is out yet, but if it isn't, I'm sure it's on the way soon. Oh, yeah. Because the Unicorn is such a popular suit.
Now, do the horns come together to do the Unicorn?
I think this whole suit transforms, doesn't it?
It transforms into like the horse mode.
The unicorn mode. All right on.
So that's pretty much where all the green is gone. It's just a solid white and everything. I think we've glued some pieces.
I wasn't going to force that. I think we glued this because it was kind of.
I was going to say, what are some memorable things about this particular build that you remember?
Is that I don't want to break anything, so I wasn't going to force nothing.
Because it was able to transform, a lot of the pieces were like really loose.
Okay.
They would like come off way too easily. Like a breeze would come in and just like the skirt armor will fall off or something.
Right.
So I just chose this mode because I just think it's the more aesthetically pleasing one. And we've started doing just parts together and everything just to kind of keep it in place. It's like, well, I'm not going to transform you. And if I do, I'll just buy another kit and have it in the transform mode.
Yeah. This is very much a static display, but it comes with a lot of weapons. In the show, it's like the end of it's getting to the final battle, and the Unicorn's facing off against a ton of different enemies, and they basically just take every single weapon in the ship. What do we got? And they all stick it on the outside of the suit. And you're just like, okay, go fight that fleet.
Does he win?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
It's kind of the same thing. Remember I mentioned the Psycho Zaku, like he has all these weapons, but as the battle goes on, he's dropping more and more empty stuff. So by the end of the battle, all this stuff is gone because he's used up all the firepower and the fuel is all empty. But it's basically just a way for him to carry extra firepower and weaponry into the battle. So he gets those giant fuel tanks, those bazookas, all these rockets. He's got 6 different beam machine gun, like chain Gatling guns on there. 2 here, 2 on either arm. So a lot of firepower. And by the end of the series, too, the Psycho Frame goes from the red to the green, which is the pilot has awakened into his powers, and that's represented through that green Psycho Frame.
So what did you like, Shirley, about this? Why did you choose to build it? Because, people...
Well, I specifically went for this because we both started watching, Gundam Unicorn when it was just one OVA a year. So
it took a long time.
And what does OVA stand for?
Original Video Animation.
Oh, okay.
Anime is not always released as it's just the show. Here it is, one episode every week. For bigger budget things, it's like they'll space out an episode every year or more.
What?
The idea is they use they'll put out a lot of money into episode 1. That comes out, and then they use the Blu-ray or sales from the first one to fund the next one. And it lets them keep the production value very high.
And are these episodes like the normal run, like a 30-minute show?
No, they're like movie length.
Oh, okay, all right,
so it's
all
like
right,
an
all right.
hour, an hour.
Yeah, hour and a half.
Okay, that's justifiable. Because I'm thinking, man, they're making you wait a year for a 30-minute cartoon.
No.
I mean, having to wait a year even for something movie length was just killer because it wasn't just one other episode you're waiting for. I think it was 6.
It was 7 episodes. The
7 years.
The last one was over the rainbow. They did eventually, when it was done, they cut it up and put in some extra footage of recap and end caps, and made it into a proper 25 episode anime series that you could watch on Netflix and Crunchyroll and all that stuff. But originally it came out as that OVA.
Interesting. So is that how it was done originally, with the animation? It was just OVAs were popular?
A lot of classic anime of the 80s and the early 90s is OVA. If you remember Tenchi Muyo?
Yeah.
There was a Tenchi TV series, which was the 25 episode one where they're all in space the whole time. And then there's the OVA, it was all looked like the animation was a lot better, but there was only 13 episodes because they were releasing them one every couple of months.
Oh.
But there's a lot of stuff like that. I'm trying to think of some other popular ones that were OVAs. Gunsmith Cats was an OVA. Trying to think of other Gundam ones. Gundam Thunderbolt is kind of an OVA because it's only 6 episodes, and they condensed it into a movie, and then
they're like 45 minutes long.
Yeah, and you waited like 2 years, and then the next one came out.
Man, so if you really want to hold true to the past, you should watch one episode, wait a year, watch the next episode, wait another year.
The one I'm into right now that's doing a lot of that is Girls in Panzer. Mm-hmm. Like they had their first series, the movie,
right,
and then instead of having a sequel series, they did an OVA, and they're waiting like 2.5 years between some of these episodes.
Only one episode came out so far, right? 1 or 2?
2 episodes are coming out so far.
Still waiting.
And it takes forever, but it's really, really good. Like when it comes out, the animation's great and everything like that. It just sucks having to wait.
It's an interesting strategy, especially in a society that wants instant gratification, instant reward.
It's a lot of patience.
It was even crazier back in the 80s because there's some shows like there's a long-running anime that I was watching called Legend of Galactic Heroes, and the only way you could watch that was you had to mail it in, and they'd mail you a VHS tape when they were done making it.
What? It was
only for hardcore fans.
And then at one point they're like, okay, we started this show 10 years ago, and it's 100 episodes. That's how long it took them to make the thing. And some of the early episodes look bad, so here's another VHS where we cleaned it up. So this is like 30 episodes ago we made it look bad.
What?
Great series, but I would not want to have to watch that as it was coming out.
And as much as you need patience for it, every other episode that comes out, because you waited so long, they put all that money, all that effort, all that time, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah,
like Gundam Unicorn, every time I wait a year, I was like, oh my god, is it gonna be as good as the episode prior? Still gorgeous. I thought it was like so pretty to look at most of the time.
Like something that's notorious in anime is reused animation. Like if you've seen Sailor Moon or Transformers or even Gagagar, they use that transformation sequence over and over and over again because it's the best looking part of the show. It's catchy. And there's none of that in like usually OVA animation because they just do tons of money into it. Like I think in Unicorn they reused one thing that was like they reused one thing from a previous episode and it stuck out like a sore thumb because of that. Like, hey, you guys are making too much money to do this. Reanimate that. I don't care if it's just from a different angle.
Really?
Yeah.
No, sometimes when you sit down, I've been in the background when I'm working. I've been listening to people critique animation. Like this guy did this whole critique of Akira, and like he went frame by frame and started describing.
Akira's the gold standard, yeah, because that still looks
like blew my mind.
Yeah. Like while that was like in the late '80s, and like Disney was like, oh yeah, we did Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast ain't nothing when you look at Akira that came out before it.
Yeah, so you could take. I mean, the attention to detail. I mean, that's one really cool thing about Gundam too. That and when you find a kit you like, if the store will allow it, some of them are wrapped or sealed. The store will allow it, open it up and ask, and then look inside the intricacy. When I began to like not pull apart, but like when I see someone here looking at kits, I say, listen, touch it, finagle it, like, open it up, look at the detail on these kits. It's not your typical blank slated, car model, which is, it has its own warrant, but it's totally different.
Yeah, these are very much for the modern crowd. Not to say that, classic modelers can't get into it, but these are easily accessible. The detail, even for somewhat older kits like this, because this is a couple years old, the detail is very high. The possibilities in it for customization are very high. And
oh yeah, from what I know too, like the SD kits, they're super popular for customizing back in Japan. Mm-hmm. Like more so than the regular size kits, just because it's a lot easier to work with.
It's easier, and you don't have to have a ton of money to get into it. So if you want to customize it, you can spend just a few dollars on the kit, and they're good for cutting your teeth on. Like if you're new and you want to get into the bigger stuff, but you're really afraid about buying like that $50 big model and ruining it your first attempt. Something like this, it's like if it doesn't go well, it was only like a $5-10 kit.
Same thing for customizing. You want to do the bigger ones, but you don't want to risk, ruining a $50 kit.
Exactly.
Try customizing something
What's going to happen when I cut this off? Let's see what happens.
So, and then just like another reason why I got this kit, other than the fact that like I have the memories of just waiting every year with him to like watch it and stuff. We even went to like AX and they aired like an episode there as well. I like getting SD kits of suits he has cosplayed as.
Okay.
Because like I will see it in the store and I'm like, oh my god, it's a mini Ben. I have to buy it. Like, it's like the suit doesn't click. He clicks into my brain. And it's like, oh, it's a minivan. I have to get it.
Ben, but you don't have those boosters on your suit.
No,
Like, dude,
my
you're
back
not dragging
would
it around.
My back would not put up with that. I'm not making the full armor with the boosters.
His back did put up with something else, though.
Oh, that's true. So it's a good segue. Oh, I'm getting pains just looking at it.
Again, like I mentioned earlier, I wasn't a big fan of Gundam Wing. Not that I haven't watched it. I have watched it more recently, but I've got this kit mainly because it's one that he has done.
Yeah, I did a costume of this one a few years back. This is the Wing Zero custom from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Endless Waltz was also an OVA.
Okay.
That one was just a 3-episode OVA.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it a Christmas one?
It takes place during Christmas the following year after the series. Basically, it's like the series ends, and this movie takes up a year later.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, what happened after the battle? What did everyone do? And this was like one of the designs from that movie.
How late in your Instagram is it there? Because I'm going to show him a picture of it.
We'll keep scrolling.
It's like all the way on the bottom?
Jesus.
The unicorn's been a focus for a while. It's in there though. You'll see it.
Though we haven't competed in it.
We competed in the Wing Zero, didn't we?
I meant the
The unicorn. Well,
yeah.
all this pandemic stuff hit off, so we didn't have a chance. Dang, it's back there. Keep
No,
going.
there's your ground Gundam.
There it is.
Where?
There's one of the wings.
Right here?
Yeah.
No, beneath that.
Where, here?
Yeah, there's one.
Oh, but that's like, you can't really see it. Like I want to show the people like exactly what it looks like
Keep
on the
going,
screen.
it's
Hang
in
on a
there.
second.
Jeez.
So let's go
Bear
to the
with us,
desktop view
guys.
so
Bear
they
with
can
us,
see.
we're digging through my Instagram
So,
history.
here-
Okay, there we go.
Oh, you know what? I can't show them. Senpai, I can't show them the desktop view.
Oh, we can't?
Hang on a second. Let's see real quick. So desktop capture, right click. Let's see, guys. Forgive the technical difficulties. Done. Nope, I can't show them, unfortunately, guys. Anyways, all right. So go to Uber's Cosplay's Instagram, go all the way down to the bottom, and it'll be there. It'll
I
be
need to put up better
somewhere.
photos of the unicorn.
Yeah, more recent, man. More.
Yeah.
All right, so explain. So what was this? What did this feel like to carry?
Oh, geez. Well, that costume is still the tallest one I've ever made. It was just shy of, 8 feet? It might have been taller.
Especially
than
because
that.
the
I think it
wings,
was 8
the
and a
wings,
half.
right?
Yeah, just because of these giant angel wings on the costume. But it's difficult to explain without the picture up. But it was so large that like his beam rifles were actually like strapped to my forearms, and running through them is a solid PVC pipe to where I could use them to catch myself if I felt like I was going to fall, because I was using 15-inch drywall stilts inside this costume.
I think that was
So-
the first and only suit thus far he uses stilts for. So,
Yeah.
like, we were being very careful, and he decided to have 4 pairs of wings on his back.
Yeah.
So,
it
like
was-
one strong gust of wind. And
Yeah, the wind could catch in. You could quickly feel kind of.
How did it feel
precarious.
walking in it? Like, did it take time to practice to walk in it?
I got as much practice as I could with it, and I never really got as comfortable as I would have liked because I didn't get to use the costume that much. I think we only took it out like 3 or 4 times.
a handful of times.
But it was neat as an experiment with the stilts. I try to avoid using them just because you always run the risk, no matter how good you get with stilts, you always run the risk of falling. And if you fall on a pair of stilts, you can really seriously injure yourself.
Yeah, because your ankle could go another direction.
Yeah, you could break your ankle.
Then
very
imagine
easily.
falling in a pair of stilts while surrounded in plastic.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
It impales you.
yeah. So you got to be extra careful with it. But it was fun to do, and it was nice to do because a lot of Gundam stuff has never been as popular as Wing was in the States. Wing was like a phenomenon in the U.S. So it was neat having a suit from that series because everyone recognized it. It had like that Sailor Moon recognizability. People who have never watched anime recognize Sailor Moon. People who have never seen Gundam recognize the Wing Zero with the angel wings.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was
And where is the suit now?
I sold it to a private individual like back in 2015.
Oh, okay, after the
I
suit.
really don't know
was
what's
it
happened to it.
2015?
It was a while ago.
Oh,
I don't
gosh.
remember. I don't know what's happened to it since then.
Okay, all right, right on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't keep every costume I build because just lack of space.
Logistics makes it really hard.
Yeah, and logistics and things like that. And plus, it gives me a chance to make some profit off it and put that money into another project.
The next build.
Right.
All right, right on. So explain this to the little kid we have in front of us, the SD
Right.
kit.
This one, of course, is just another straight build. I'm going to revisit it as well, but as I said, like, not only am I geared towards like enemy suits and cute suits, I'm geared towards suits that just remind me of anything he has done. I would like automatically zoom in. It's like, oh my god, this is a tiny Ben. I have to get it. I have to buy it. This is a slightly more recent kit, so I haven't had a chance to panel line, paint it, or anything, especially with all the moving that we did in between. I mean, I just pulled out most of these kits not that long ago from storage. But
A lot of stickers on this one.
a lot of stickers.
Like
Really?
these ear sections.
Mm-hmm.
The head is pretty much all molded in white, so these ear sections is all sticker. This blue and the gray up front, as well as the ones on the shoulders. The shoulders are all molded white, so this blue and the yellow is all sticker. And this is also, like I said, these kits are designed to be simple and low price point. So when you look at like the back, like especially at the back of the legs, you'll see that it's basically just open plastic. Like there's a gap there.
Yeah, I see it.
Because it's not like the other kits where it's two pieces of a clamshell going together. It's just a single part. So because of the way the injection is, the back is hollow. So if you were going to clean this up and do it up properly, you'd probably want to fill that gap with some kind of putty or something, so you didn't have that nasty open hole in the back. Also, you can see that same thing very well on the hands. Like you look at the hand, it looks fine. You look at the bottom, it's completely open.
So this is a kit you leave low, so no one can see underneath.
It's designed in such a way to where all the open sections are pointed towards the back.
Right.
So that's good. But
And
it's just
hopefully the wings could be distracting enough that you
yeah,
don't
and the
care.
wings
No,
cover up
yeah.
a lot of it. It's just something to keep in mind. And also in color corrections, like the rifle should be like gray. It's molded in blue. But like I said, these are kits designed to be simple, low price point. So there are sacrifices made in terms of that.
But like compared to like my other kids where I have worked on it and everything, you know, like this is just straight out of the box, a few
Not
stickers.
even panel line.
Not even panel, not yet anyway. But like if I revisit it, there's gonna be a lot more paint to it. There's gonna be panel lining to it.
More
The-
intricate.
It'll be more intricate, so you can't tell like it was just straight out of the box.
Right.
Killer.
But definitely a difference.
All right, and the last one here we have on the table.
Yeah, this is one I wanted to talk about because this is one we actually have for sale here. Can you grab that box for me?
Oh, yeah.
The heavy arms, right?
Yeah, this is the Gundam Heavy Arms, also from Gundam Wing, but this is from the TV show. In the OVA, the designs had been updated somewhat.
Right.
So a lot of those kits, like the ones from the OVA, have gotten various model kits.
Right.
But the ones from the show have been kind of neglected. So now they're getting into doing some of these with their high grade series. So this is really nice to see. This is the third of the main Gundams to come out in the high grade. First was the Wing Gundam. The second was the Sandrock, which I brought in previously. That was the one with like those curved heat showtail blades. And this is the third one. This was the Gundam in the series that was piloted by Troa Barton. And it's obviously, judging just by the name, heavy arms. This is the one that was the heavy armored, tons of firepower bruiser unit. And it was actually kind of a sad note because I bought this kit from you guys, and like 2 days later, news came out that the voice actor that played Troa passed away.
Right.
So that was unfortunate. If you guys watch Gundam anime, Kirby Morrow, the voice actor, did a bunch of Gundam characters. He did the voice of Yune in Char's Counterattack. He did the voice of Billy Katagiri in Gundam 00, who was like one of the scientists. If you're not familiar with Gundam, he did the voice of Moroku in Inuyasha.
Really?
So, unfortunate that he passed away. The guy wasn't even very old. Actually, one of the last roles he got to do was the Inuyasha sequel that's running right now. He got to play Moroku in the first episode. So it's good that he got to come back to that role before the unfortunate happened. And I got to meet him once, and I actually had a Heavy Arms helmet I had built. And got him to sign it,
Right.
and I did like a giveaway for it.
Oh,
So I don't have it anymore, but whoever has that right now, if you're watching, man, hang on to that because poor guy's not around anymore. But anyway, in the context of the show, all the Gundams are designed for different purposes. This is the long-range fire support suit. So he's got a lot of firepower all built into the suit. Most obviously, he's got this Gatling gun, but he also has a lot of other weapons built into him. He has these shoulder panels that open up on either side that have missiles in them.
Yeah, I saw that in the box.
Yeah, get my fingernail in there. He has those. He has another little batch of missiles on the side of either leg.
Have they made this kit in a higher resolution, like
They have
like
not.
a
This is
master
the
grade?
first time they have made a kit since the original series ran in 1995.
That's why this is like a brand new kit.
This is a brand new kit, just came out, but they have done other kits of the heavy arms, but not of the TV version.
It was like the movie
In
version.
the movie
movie
versions, it looks
version.
different. So it's nice to have one of the TV version because this is the one that got the most screen time of this particular character. So this is the first time they've done it since the original one in '95. I actually have the old one from '95, but it is a total mess. Like kits back then were very, very simplistic. It doesn't really hold together well. This is like not even. This is a completely different animal. They're not even worth comparing. But color accuracy very good. Color accuracy though not as good as the Sandrock. There are quite a few more stickers with this kid than there were with the Sandrock. You'll see there these little yellow bits on the sides of the chest underneath the Gatling guns. Those are stickers. The blue triangular markings on the chest, those are stickers. He has stickers here for these vents on the lower knee, as well as to the sides of either ankle. Those are stickers. Of course, he also has the sticker for the eyes. There also are a few black stickers on the side of the skirt and the back. So quite a few more stickers than the Sandrock, so the color accuracy isn't as good. They're not bad stickers, but I'm really annoyed by these little V ones in the chest. I feel like they could have just gave you
They should have called you, Ben. They should have called you. And be
They
like,
should have done these in blue because that's like the one that it really needs. Everything else you could get away with just being in color, but I really wish they would have molded those in blue.
You hear Bandai?
Yeah.
You hear
Get on your game, guys.
it?
But nothing that can't be corrected with a bit of hand painting. But for those ones on the chest, that's such a small detail to hand paint, you'd probably want to mask it and do it with an airbrush. That's why I say. It does have a few gimmicks, like the chain gun on the arm does come off. Very rarely in the show did he ever lose the chain gun. There was one episode where the main character, Hero, was piloting this suit, and it had been modified for him previously because he was using it in a duel. And when the Gatling gun dropped off of ammo, he had a sword here, so he could use that. But you never see that again in the show. The Gatling gun also has a little handle that folds out, so he wants to use it with two hands. Also, this was a gimmick that was always shown in the art. Never used the handle in the show. Tro was notorious for just kind of spray and pray type of fighting. He just fired everything and just prayed for the best. A lot of firepower, but when he does run out of ammo, he's only got one thing to defend himself, and that's this army knife on the hand.
I like that.
So he doesn't have a sword or like a spear or anything like that. He just has this army knife.
Well, if you make it through all his gunfire, you know,
He does. It is quite effective at cutting up suits. Like he does. The pilot in the series is not just like well trained. He's also an acrobatic. Like he's a clown in a circus as like his alter ego.
Okay.
Like because they're all basically hiding from the military, and that's like his secret identity.
Where is his robot being hidden?
They have them like hidden in forests and in trailers and caves and stuff like that.
Interesting. Okay.
There are nations that are sympathetic to the Gundams that hide them and help them out and stuff like that. So anyway, when he's out of ammo, he won't just fight with this knife, but he's also like flipping around through the air and doing all these acrobatic moves and stuff. So
I dig it.
yeah.
So
cool
Shirley,
suit.
did you build this one?
Oh,
No, this was
he
one.
built.
He
wanted to show it off.
Ben
But,
wanted to show it off.
The Heavy Arms and Troa were fan favorite characters, so it's very cool to get this in a kit. And like I said, I had a few problems with it, but really just color corrections. In terms of like mobility, the kit is very, very mobile. It's very, very solid. Like this is not loose at all. And like I said, the TV version of the suit, which is the one most people are familiar with, never really got a lot of play in kits. So it's nice to see it as most people remember it. Like if you watched this on Toonami back in 2000, this is what you remember from Heavy Arms.
Nice.
Going to show the booklet real quick. The booklet has a nice painted picture of what a finished version of the model kit looks like. This does reuse a few parts from the Gundam Sandrock, so you will have a few leftover parts inside, in addition to the usual spare hands and things like that. There are a few junk parts left over from like the joint sections of the sand rock. So you don't need those, just toss them to the side. But you do have the extra hands as well. And there's the sticker sheet that I mentioned. Like I said, quite a few more stickers than there were with the sand rock. So just something to keep in mind. You'll want something like a hobby knife or a tweezer to apply those. And we do have this kit in stock at Flynn's.
Yes, we do.
So if you like...
I don't know how many. How many more do we have, Will? We have one more left.
We only have one more left? Okay, so people have been getting this one.
Yeah, we actually have like a lot of people coming in for, was it Fumina?
Yeah,
Fumina.
That's another one. That
And the heavy
popular.
arms.
Yeah, because both those kits just came out. This one just came out. This means we've got 3 out of the 5 characters for the Gundam Wing main characters now. So the only ones we have left, hopefully they release soon, are the Death Sai and the Gundam Shenlong. Those are duo and
I'll compare their heights.
Yeah, just to compare. From the same show, but quite a different look.
You have the high grade and you have the SD. This one is it's not one of the newer ones, right?
No, this is not one of the cross-gen
Yeah,
ones. This is the SDEX ones, which is just like a slightly newer version of the SD. Like they were a little bit better detailed, but still a lot of stickers and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're a fan of the classic, well, not really classic, but it's classic to us Americans. If you're a fan of Gundam Wing, aired on Toonami back in 2000, come in and grab yourself a Gundam Heavy Arms. Show Kirby some love.
Hey, Will, bring me an entry grade kit. No, the high res kit.
Oh, no, we're not going to talk about that one yet.
Yeah, bring me an entry grade kit.
Talk about that one another time. Yeah, but bring one of the entry grade kits.
So you guys can see it for Monday. I completely
Yeah, we'll
forgot to
talk
show it.
about the kit briefly that we're going to be doing for the family build and paint night, or the family how to build Gundam.
But before we get to the family thing, I did want to ask Shirley one other question
Go
with
right ahead.
with your advice, because I'm trying to get better at asking questions.
Yeah.
With your advice to someone interested in getting in, be it male, female, whatever, what would your advice be to getting into the hobby?
Just do it.
Just do it?
I mean, like, stalling isn't going to do anything. I mean, if you just jump in, you can figure out what you like. Just see something, no matter what it is, if it gets your attention, whether it's because you saw the anime, you read the manga, or you just happen to pass it and it looks great, take it, try it out. You'll never know until you built it. Maybe it's not for you, maybe it is, and you just develop some new passion.
And if there was one thing you wish you would have known before you got started?
I wish I knew about SD kits earlier. I would have had a lot more.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Ben wanted to show off real quick in closing, guys. This is actually what we'll be doing on Monday next week. We will be streaming this, most likely. I don't see why not. Streaming this, we're Learn to Build Gundam here at Flynn's, and this is what we have acquired.
Yeah, this is the entry grade RX-78-2 Gundam. Entry grade is a series of model kits, which is the same scale as high grades, same scale as the heavy arms and everything, but these are designed specifically for people that are new to the hobby. Not to say that older fans won't be able to appreciate this as well, because though it's designed to be a simple kit, this is a highly posable, highly color accurate kit. It's very, very well designed. Let me show you a little bit inside. These are brand new as well. So entry grade, so it's just the 1, 2, 3, 4 runners, and that's the entire kit. But the color accuracy is very, very good. You can see even down to like the little, like it's usually notorious to be a sticker on these, is the little V on the crotch area.
Right.
Is color molded accurately in this. There are high grade kits that don't have that. So even though it's entry grade, this is a great model kit. It's highly, highly posable, and the runners are laid out in such a way as to where the assembly is very simple. You see, if you just follow the runner top to bottom, you end up with the kit, starting from the head down through the arms, the torso, and the legs. So this is the kit we'll be showing you guys how to build for Monday night's event. What's the pricing on that again?
We are doing pretty much the way we've decided to do it is that your group can be, you can have as many people as you'd like. We're putting it $20 per build.
Right.
So it's $20. It could have as many people as you want to help build it. Mm-hmm. But one kit, $20. That'll include the kit. You walk home with the kit completed. We have all the tools and of course pizza and a soda.
Right. So like if you got some younger kids and you maybe want to get them into the hobby,
exactly,
$20 and you can come in and help them build it and everything like
course.
that. We're going to be streaming it,
mm-hmm.
so you get some cool video to show and everything as well. Like you said, food and drinks and stuff like that. We'll have some Gundam anime on. I'm going to be here as well with my laptop and some slides and everything to help show people a little bit about the hobby, give some people some hands-on help if they need it. And like you said, we'll also have tools, sandpapers, clippers, everything you need to do up this nice little kit. And like I said, even if you're familiar with Gundam and you're like, oh, I already have a lot of Gundam, the original Gundam, I don't want more. This is a great one. This is like better than the high grades.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous how good it is.
We do have, just so you know, we do have 10 in total. 10 kits in total is what we ordered. So if you do plan to come and you're able to give us brief notice, by all means, text, email, call, message, direct message, just so we know a count, because we don't want to have to turn people away. But it is the first, 10, let's call it builders, you know what I'm saying?
Now, are we giving priority to the club members for this one?
Yeah, and it's already been, I actually dropped it into the club. I dropped it into the club membership. So if you are a Gundam club member, which we did not mention, we normally mention at the beginning, but at flynsgaming.com/Gundam, all the information is there to be part of the Gundam club. But yes, if you are part of the Gundam club and you are paid up, you can definitely get first crack at it.
You can get first crack at it. And we do have more of these ordered because this is something that if it goes well, we'd like to do again in the future.
Heck yeah.
So come out and show us some love. There will be more different kinds of entry grade kits coming out. I mean, I gotta imagine Azaku is right behind this one. So if you guys are into Xeon, keep your eyes up. Keep your eyes up, and we may be doing that one in the future as well.
100%. So come on out, guys. This Monday at 7 o'clock, we're going to be doing our first Learn to Build here at Flynn's. I'm super excited for it. We'll also be kind of doing maybe the same thing at Otaku Fest in January.
Yes.
We'll be doing something along those lines as well. We'll still have to iron out the details, but nonetheless, by all means, join us. And I wanted to spend the moment just in closing, guys, that Ben will actually be in Georgia on the 19th,
yes,
which is a Saturday,
yeah.
And I'm just throwing the link up into the chat, guys. It's a fellow hobbyist / business owner / opening up a place in Georgia, hobby store. The link's there, facebook.com / the Gundam Place. Be sure to check them out on Instagram. I saw them there, and Facebook. Ben will be there. And Ben, why are you going there exactly?
We're going there to do some filming. We're going to have you there to take photos with people because I'm going to have my Gundam unicorn costume.
Perfect.
And just generally promote the business and everything like that.
Perfect.
But if you guys don't live in the area, still give them a follow online. Everything.
100%.
And check out this giveaway they're doing. They're doing a giveaway for a perfect grade Gundam 007 sword inspection type, which is a premium Bandai kit that's pretty hard to get your hands on. So give them a follow on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Check them out. And
it's on their header image, guys, on Facebook. When you go click that link in the description, you'll see it right there. This is the header image, right? This is the contest.
It's all over their Instagram.
So, okay, good. So it's there, guys. And once again, we wanted to show love and support to people, like-minded individuals, just spreading the love of model building and Gundam. And he's fairly new. If you click their link, we don't know what's going on with that link, but once again, I'm going to put it out there just being a business owner myself. Sometimes technical difficulties do happen, so don't hold that against them.
Their site for sales is not open yet because they haven't done their grand opening, but it's going to be open soon. So just keep your eyes on it for when they do go live. 100%.
So guys, really appreciate you spending the last hour and 15 minutes with us here. Shirley, thank you for coming today and being with us. You're my pleasure.
Maybe we can have you by again and talk about more kits.
I would like to see the petite guys, the bear one. Yeah, next time. Next time.
You know what? I'll do it next time. I can fill up a whole hour.
All right, perfect.
Yeah,
so,
a lot of bears.
And of course, guys, be sure to give Ben a follow on Instagram, Facebook at Uber's Cosplay. You can find us at Flynn's Gaming FL. And once again, guys, we really appreciate all the support. Be sure to click that icon, that bell icon, if you're watching this on YouTube, or that follow, subscribe, wherever you're looking at it, guys. And build the paint night on Thursday, 8 o'clock, and $10 play all day at Flynn's tomorrow on Tuesdays. Later, guys.
See you then.
Bye.